Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit has for the collective. Spirit, what do you have for the collective? What do they need to know and be made aware of? Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, the subscriptions to the channels. And yeah, hope your day is prosperous. Spirit, what do you have for the collective? What's collective need to know and be made aware of? Please put my ego to the side. I do not want to hear from my ego, please. Thank you. All right, y'all. TarotOracleDivination.com is where you'll find me. If you want to stop by, check it out, see what I have to offer. I am updating the website weekly with different offerings. I'm excited about some little personal, fashionable items that I'll be providing very soon. If you don't know, I'm a seamstress by trade. Like, I've been sewing forever. So I have some things to incorporate, personal products like little zippered pouches for you to keep like your crystals in or your tarot cards or, whatever. I'm serving everyone, whatever it is you need for healing, protection purposes. Hopefully you'll be able to find it and continue to support me on the website. So please look forward to those things. Like, I'm seeing the visions in my mind of things I need to create, but I just want to let it all happen organically. I don't want anything to be forced, all right? Spirit, what do you have for the collective? All right, I believe I just cut the deck twice, which is fine. All right, card flipped over in the deck. The Six of Pentacles means finally there's some balance. There's some reconciliation here. Since it's Pentacles, it's whatever you value. So it could be money, love, success, dream job. Let's see. Cards are flying, y'all. All right, here we are. Let's see the bottom of the deck. Oh, that's even better. The Justice card is here. So we know justice is being, whether scales are actually balancing. This could be in the actual spiritual courts, or it could be in the 3D plane. So the courts of justice, whatever nation you reside in. But just know that, things are looking in your favor in this regard. With the Justice card in the upright. So this is the overall energy of what we're about to get into. So, this sounds like it may have been a long time coming, especially me seeing that Six of Pentacles reverse. It's like things haven't been equal for some time in whatever scenario we're about to get into. But just know that, that equality is here. Spirit has been paying attention and taking notice and all that good stuff. So it's something that, of course, you're deserving of. I'll say that. All right, let me slide this over. I know that this Five of Wands definitely came around this energy with the Six of Pentacles. So I'm just kind of maneuvering a little, filling out the energies as I do that. Now, this Five of Wands, we know this as like a competition card. So, in like the, what am I trying to say? In traditional tarot, this card is described as adolescents. Like, they're kind of young and they're like, trying to see what they can do with this stick that they're holding. Like, they don't mean to really hurt or harm anyone. They just kind of want to see what it does. And they see the next person coming with a stick that's similar to theirs. So they're wanting to maybe challenge them in a little something, but nobody really gets hurt in this Five of Wands energy, looking at the traditional sense of this card. So I mentioned, career-wise dreams. So if this is something that you've been held back from, something that you've been working towards, and you don't necessarily understand why the results of being held back have been just for so long, That's why that Justice card is here, and that's why that Six of Pentacles is in reverse. So whatever that passion, that passionate part to you is, something that you kept at, right? I mean, it could be a relationship. It could be anything. It's like whatever was around that you just couldn't shake off. But not that it was toxic. It was just like you were always trying to reach for something, but it seemed like it just got further away from your grasp every time. But you never really stopped going after it, is what I'm picking up here. Even though if we look at, these Five of Wands as like different scenarios, challenges, blockages coming, it's like you still, you didn't let it like knock you down completely to where you're like, okay, that's it, I'm done with this. It was still always looked at as, I enjoy a challenge, is what you're telling yourself. So bring it on. Like, what you got for me now? It's like you built up the strength to be able to keep going toward this, even though whatever this is, it wasn't necessarily something that you had like a full table spread to where you can finally indulge in. Like to feel like you completed something, or, the feeling of success, like never quite reaching that pinnacle because of this Five of Wands. All right, let's see what else is here. Oh, so the High Priestess is here. All right. So, this is the intuition card. This is, your higher self. This is paying attention to, the big picture, like understanding, the necessities of your life's journey, meaning you don't focus on the small things because, there's a larger picture that's progressing and it's happening. It's called growth. So all along the way with those blockages and challenges, the High Priestess was always there in support of this mission. Like, no, that's just a distraction. Keep going. So you knew this. You knew how to interpret things, right? You know how to keep the main thing the main thing. Okay, I have two cards up here you can't see. I'm going to slide these down. But these two cards kind of flew over to the top right area. But I am actually going to, where do I want to go? All right, I'm going to jump here, and then we'll jump over here to see what that was. Matter of fact, I think I'm supposed to save this. All right, let's see. Let's go. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups. So this means walking away from emotions that are no longer serving you, just finally just like giving up the ghost, we call it. That's an old school term. I honestly don't know what that means, but that's what I heard. So if I interpret that to the energy that is here on the table, giving up the ghost, if I think of a ghost as something that's there but not really, if we interpretate it that way, like feeling like something's haunting you or following you, or, feelings of something trying to stop you, or someone or some energy. I feel like that's what's going on here with this Eight of Cups, like walking away from that particular interpretation of things. Right? Letting go of the idea that, there's something that's, just kind of been placed in your way to stop you from your destiny. I think it's now time to let go of that kind of thinking. Or either it's saying, because I see the Magician now peeking from behind this Eight of Cups, but it's in the reverse. So, hang on. So whatever was in the background, even if this were really a thing to where you were just energetically being sabotaged, right? If that really was a thing, and it can be for a lot of people. But then there are a lot of times I know that they tell you if you believe in that kind of stuff, then yes, it will manifest. But, sometimes you just can't ignore it because it just seems like all the arrows are pointing that direction. And you know that you know that you're not crazy. You know that just certain circumstances, how they line up in your life, it's like, okay, now this is suspicious. Like, really, because I don't understand what else could be going on that would be causing all of these missed opportunities, or, you know, whatever I was talking about earlier with the blockages. Like, if we were talking about a passion project or something that you just always have gone or been drawn to and gone after and tried to nurture and support, and, you know, you didn't want to let it go because, you know, you knew that this was part of your destiny, so you couldn't let it go. Now back to this Eight of Cups means, you know, walking away from emotions. I'm hearing disturbed. So those emotions that would have caused blockages, walking away from that. And then with the Magician reverse, I feel like I'm hearing it's a long time coming. So this has been going on for a while. I'm not talking about months. I'm talking about years. All right. All right. So we have the King of Cups here behind this Magician reverse energy. So this King of Cups, you know, this is hang on, y'all, because I feel a shift. I feel a shift happening. Hang on one second. Excuse me. Spirit, show me this King of Cups energy. All right, this is someone, this King of Cups, the picture that's being painted for me right now. This is someone who is very inviting. Like, clearly they want you to take what they're offering or buy what they're selling, quote unquote. Like, it's very, like, their body language would be like overly like engaging, because this is an energy of getting you to come along with them on some sort of journey. So this King of Cups could be disguised as help to someone. Maybe it's help. Okay, and we have to look at it. It's the king. So this is somebody who really knows what they're doing and talking about, like, the persuasion of it all, right? Because what I'm getting is this could be some sort of potential trap. Even though they're not in the reverse, because they don't want you to see the reverse yet. They want you to see the upright right now, because this is, yeah, come on, sure. You know, that's that overly engaging. You know, the leaning forward when they're talking to you. You know, the body language is just so, like, they just want to take you and wrap you in their arms. But I'm not looking at love right now. This is not a love situation for me. This is like business, because I'm seeing somebody in a suit. They're very dapper looking. They have one handed. They're like overly confident, but in a friendly way. You get what I'm saying? So behind this King of Cups, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So they're all about investments. But I look at these investments as other people's dreams, other people's fortunes, right? Because they're constantly like, okay, so I got Bill, I got Sarah over here, I got John over there, I got Dwayne over there. And yeah, everybody's pretty good right now, but I still need more. Like, this isn't enough. I need more clients, is what this King of Cups is always saying. So they're always out on, oh, I heard on the prowl. I was going to use that term because that's how it was presented to me. So even in that interpretation, the prowl means that this could be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Obviously, that's where I'm going with this. Now, this Eight of Wands I'm looking at as, this is a held position here. This is a position that possibly if you get into it, you won't be able to get out, because it'll be a mental mind F. I don't want to curse. It'll be like a mental number on you, because I feel like it's an entrapment, because once you get in, sign on the dotted line, if you are signing something, I'm not sure, but once you get in and you cross that threshold, that's that Two of Wands. It's going to put you in a position to where you might feel hopeful or hopeless. But but what I can say, if we would have ruled out this King of Cups to begin with, you would not have been in that position. Because we're going from, hey, how you doing? Tell me more. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, sure. I work with such and such and I can get, and yeah, I mean, this is what I do. This is what the king is saying. They're gonna pull out the portfolio or whatever this is and show you and tell you. You'll hear the references, the recommendations. You'll see all of that. But what you don't know, it's going to be like a binding sort of contract. And even if it's not on paper, it'll be like a mental play. It'll be a game. It'll turn into some sort of game to where you don't know which way to go, what to do, because twos are decisions. So I said hopeful or hopeless is how you'll be feeling. But guess what? That's that master manipulator energy from this King of Cups, because they're all about seeking emotions, finding somebody at a certain emotion. Because, you know, that's who they look for. They're the king. They know what they're doing. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I just want you to feel what I'm feeling. So master manipulator is what I'm ending that with, because that's what I got. All right, I guess now we can go ahead and jump over. No, let's save these. Nope. Okay, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. All right, here we are. 10 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles. So I want to interpret this from left to right as if we're going from this very dark place to this place of like recognition and, you know, things finally being delivered the right way. We're not being delivered swords anymore in our front and back and putting us down and leaving us in a position to die, right? It's going to this 9 of Pentacles to where, oh, this is life. This is actually how life is supposed to be. But this energy was up here, it was out of the camera. So I'm just gonna kind of lay these back down because I'll be pulling some clarifiers here. But remember that hopeless and hopeful energy? So now I know that this is going to be a major risk here. But with that 2 of Wands, with that decision, all right, well, I heard beat them at their own game. I don't know who that's for, but beat them at their own game. So you knowing this ahead of time, say this King of Cups has not even approached you yet. Hold on, now that I'm asking that, I gotta wait for the answer. Hold on. All right, well, I'm just seeing the scenario to where they're saying, okay, no problem. So I feel like this has to do with repetitive putting them off. So if this is the scheduling and then the canceling of dates or appointments or meetings over coffee or whatever, because they're going to be persistent, because that's part of that manipulation. You know, they don't take no for an answer easily. They're going to tie it into something else. So I'm hearing like a phone conversation, right? So after you tell them no the first time, it's going to run into, hey, when I saw you the other day, do you have a Pomeranian? And then you might say something like, no, but I've been thinking about getting one. Oh my God, this is the king. Oh my God, because you know what? For some reason, I knew that you had a Pomeranian, but I wasn't sure because I have one right now. And then they'll send you a picture of it. You know, that's the king. That's the King of Cups. They're emotional. So they try to lure you in with those emotions, whatever that attachment is, right? That's what I'm trying to say to you. Just be mindful of this King of Cups that's headed your way if they're not already here. Because there's something that they want. There's something that they see in you. There's some sort of exchange that they saw dollar signs, or they hear the cha-ching with that Seven of Pentacles. But they want to see how to get you trapped somehow. Because you are showing up as the Nine of Pentacles here. Right? So, you know what this is also telling me here? Don't get caught up again. If you just got freed from something, don't fall back into this. Because when I said hopeless to hopeful, you can go right back into this Ten of Swords so quick, you don't even know. Even though now you are aware of what to keep out of your life and keep away from you and your energy and your kids and all that kind of stuff. You don't want that energy around because you know how it drained you last time and you were left with nothing and you have nothing really to show for it except possibly a child or something if we're talking about a relationship. So if you haven't healed from that trauma, because that's what it is, it's trauma. If you haven't healed from that, whatever is in you, like a pheromone that's attracting this particular energy back to you, then that's exactly what you're going to get. Now, this could have to do with business. If there's something that you haven't healed from a previous experience for a quote unquote, a business relationship or interaction, that you were so desperate and dire to have to experience and want, you know, because it meant success finally, because you've already been through the ringer. Like there's something that has to be taken care of before you jump back out there. If not, then you'll find those master manipulators in this King of Cups energy, because they can sniff you out. They can sniff out a Nine of Pentacles. That's the pre-empress. She's destined to be the empress, but for right now, she's still kind of figuring things out, but it's all over her. I mean, he or she. It's all over you that you're going to be successful. You really have something going for you that, you know, you can, the light bulb can come on at any moment and then boom, you take off like a rocket. There are energies that can sniff that out. So when I said pheromones, that's like a perfume that the bad guy can smell. They pick up on it immediately. All right, y'all, let's keep going. I know I'm talking to somebody. Maybe you aren't aware of energies and you're like, what the hell are pheromones? Well, you put on perfume, right? Why you wear perfume? Because it makes you feel good? Not, I mean, yeah, but also it's an attraction method. It's a potion. Think of potions and potions being created. If you think of the stereotypical witch, they're making a potion. Yeah, because they're trying to attract something with that potion. All right, y'all. Okay, so I have these cards here. This is how they fell, but let's see what's going on. What's on top? Let me do that first. Okay, so we have, this might be the situation that you're coming out of, speak of the devil. This King of Wands, and here's the Two of Cups. So, you know, this King of Wands energy is that one who will never take no for an answer also. But they're all about action. So obviously they weren't doing their job. They didn't show and prove to be this king because they're on the side. And also the Two of Cups is on the side as well. So I would like to think that this is a situation that's not in limbo, that you've already finally kind of decided that, you know, this King of Wands is not for me. You know, I deserve better. But in that same moment, you know, why do you deserve better? Those are just things you have to start asking yourself, so you can know your value and your worth by the things that you're saying out loud or writing down on paper. And then you're able to manifest in that manner. And also, it'll just help open your eyes to, I never want to attract this kind of energy ever again. But if you don't go through those processes, which may take some months, may take some years for some people, depending on how badly you were afflicted. You can end up attracting just the same person, but in a different sort of face, a different sort of lifestyle, in a different sector of your life, if it's business. Like, that energy can still come around you and be either harmful if you're not wise, or if you do realize you know who you are and your worth, you'll know how to get that King of Cups off of you, or whoever it is that shows up. Right now, it's the King of Cups energy. So this is somebody who's not going to take no for an answer, because they're always going to try to tie you back in with some sort of emotion, because they're building trust with you. But at the same time, you know, that was the wolf in sheep's clothing, that reference that I made earlier, that tied it to that statement. All right, y'all. Let me keep going. So we have Judgment here. So Judgment, Seven of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Death card. Let me see what was on top of that energy, because this is all here with this King of Wands. Okay, so the Hangman. Excuse me. All right, so you know, Judgment is here. We have Justice and Judgment. So, like I said, this is a long time coming. But if this energy belongs to this couple situation, you know, that you were in, this relationship with this King of Wands, this King of Wands is about to go through a transformation, or either this has, or that King of Wands is what set off a transformation for yourself. So this King of Wands possibly dealt out some, well, obviously a lot of afflictions with this Seven of Swords, to where you didn't know who to trust at this point. You couldn't even trust the person you were sleeping with, or you were sharing a home with, sharing a bed with. You figured that out. It was hard. It was a hard denial to have to try to, you know, cut through, but you got it. Now this Knight of Swords reverse, that's like a quick, irrational coming in of energy. Like, there hasn't been much thought behind this, but it's happening quickly. But it could be a little scattered. It could be a little abrupt, just out of nowhere even. But it's headed toward this Death card. And that is what I said, that's the transformation that was triggered because of the Judgment card being here. Two major arcanas that, if you look at it, it's like the horn blew, like, oh, it's reckoning day. And then here's this little last minute energy here, this abrupt, all of the sudden, Seven of Swords, this awakening of knowing that, yeah, I'm done, or, you know, I can't deal with all of this that's been dished out, onto the transformation here. And that Hangman energy, you know, it was on its side. So it's like a major decision that needs to be made, you know, knowing that it needs to be made all this time, but it's just like, oh, we'll deal with it later sort of energy. All right, excuse me, I'm gonna grab some clarifiers and see what else needs to be known here. So yeah, to sum up everything, because I feel like that needs to be done here. To sum up what's happening, you know, you have the old life versus a potential new life, but this new life is something that, if you're not careful, you'll fall right back into what you had before. It's just with a different person. Or it could be, instead of love, it could, because instead of love, it could be, you know, a business partnership. Because the Two of Cups, I have to look at, yeah, it is an exchange of emotions, because I told you about that with the King of Cups. They try to hit at your emotions, you know. So business, because if this were tied to business, this is already something that you've kind of been hoping and dreaming for, but it seemed like every time you tried to get close to it, there was some sort of setback. So you've tied a lot of time, energy, love, pain, hurt into a business opportunity for yourself. So that's how I feel this King of Cups is coming in, because it's all about them having other investments. And an investment could be love. It could be a child. It could be anything, but they want to get you hemmed up here with this Eight of Swords. But I heard earlier you just have to outsmart this King of Cups, and then I gave the scenario of how to do that, because that's possibly their approach, is to pull at your heartstrings somehow to try to make that connection. That's how that works with the King of Cups. Spirit, anything else you want to clarify, please? All right, well, I mean, okay. We have 2 cards here. So, unexpected income and change. These are both number 9. 2 and 7 is 9. So 9's definitely equal change. But what else am I to understand about these 2, Spirit? What else? What else do I need to know? I'm hearing look a little deeper. What does look a little deeper mean, Spirit? So I'm hearing engage, and then I'm hearing potential. So the energy that I'm feeling from that, when I even seek further to try to find out what that would mean, be weary or mindful of that engagement with, you know, that exchange of emotions with this King of Cups, because the potential of that could be harming. What did I say? Hopeless to hopeful. But you want to be on the hopeful side. But don't be fooled about this opportunity. Yeah, it's going to sound really good. Like it'll really change your life. But if you haven't healed from the previous energy that got you kind of hemmed up in a situation that was not beneficial or helpful, be mindful that that can occur all over again if you haven't taken the steps to heal. All right. That's what I have for you. I hope this helps.